Hey, it's Native Survival. Today we're going to talk about a quick wool blanket shelter. Stay tuned. Okay, so right now it's obviously below freezing and it's snowing. This is ideal conditions for the shelter. I call it a pocket shelter. The reason being is because it creates a pocket that's insulated to the weather. Okay, now it's real simple, real fast, and it's a good shelter to use if you're trying to sit out a storm. Just hang out for a couple hours, and it's something that can be thrown up very, very fast. Pretty simple. Let's get to it. I'm going to just take my wool blanket off my ruck. I got two options. I can sit on my ruck, which gets me off the ground, which lowers conduction, or I can fold my blanket underneath me. I'll go for my ruck this time. Real simple, guys. Fold your blanket. Flip it back over yourself. Pretty simple. So then you just rearrange it so then that way you can try to get it so it's touching the ground all around you, and that is ideal. It touches the ground everywhere around you. The reason why that's ideal is because it creates a pocket inside, because there's three main factors. There's three main factors that need to be considered, and that's conduction, convection, and radiation. Okay, so conduction is from touching surfaces, objects. In this case, it would be the ground. Okay, so basically, if you sat on a log, let's say, right, and you're there for a few minutes, and then you slide over a foot or two on the log, if you feel that log where you're sitting now, it's colder than you were a moment ago. You feel the log where you were just sitting, and it's warm. Well, that warmth didn't come from the log. That's your warmth. It got sucked out of your body. It's like a equilibrium concept where the wood was warmed up by you. Now you lost that heat. That cost you calories to make. So that's conduction. Conduction is me sitting on the ground and trying to warm the earth up with my body. I'm not going to win. So I'm going to continually lose heat. Okay? So by being on my ruck or by folding the blanket underneath me, I've gotten rid of that. Second thing is convection. Now convection is wind. Basically at all times we're radiating heat off of our bodies. And convection is wind. So when wind comes by, it pushes that bubble of radiation that you have floating around your body at all times, pushes it off. So you have to replenish it. That's a pretty serious thing as well, especially when you add water, because water conducts heat off of you, and convection speeds it up. Okay, so the last one is radiation. Basically, like I was just saying, is that radiation is coming off your body at all times. So you want to create a pocket inside your blanket to trap dead airspace. In other words, you don't want convection. You don't want air coming in and introducing a draft. You want to create a pocket underneath your blanket to trap the radiation coming off your body. So the ideal situation with this quick pocket shelter is that you create a pocket and you're insulated from the ground, either by, again, folding the blanket underneath you, having a little spot to sit on, or putting your jacket down, or even taking your jacket off. I have a wool jacket. It's like having a wool blanket. I can put it down on the ground if I wanted to. I just want to basically sit on the ground, insulated from it, by sitting on my ruck, or my blanket. I want to stop convection or wind from hitting my body by putting an insulative layer, which would be the blanket, in between me and the wind. So the wind has to go through this fiber to reach me. And the last thing is I want to trap the radiation, my natural body heat that's coming off of me. So depending on how bad the condition is, depends on your reaction, or rather your reaction to how you use this shelter depends on how bad the conditions are, or what you need to do to have the best condition for you. So, you know, if it's really windy, like right now there's almost no wind. It's almost not even an issue. But if it's really windy, I'm going to want my edges all the way on the ground. I definitely want to be able to trap my heat. Right now my back and the back of my neck is nice and toasty warm. And I have it flipped open so I can talk to you guys. And this is nice because you can look around and you know, you can sit still, observe, and just look around, and you can actually, you know, really take in your environment. But also, you know, this is a shelter. It's not really only just for you know, doing a sit spot and anything like that. So you're trying to stay dry, right? Because when you get wet, you get cold. So normally I would flip this over. I'd hunker down nice and low, get it all the way to the ground, create a pocket that's insulated from the outside environment. And that's really the concepts behind it. It's just those three concepts, and it's really simple. I mean, it's the simplest shelter I know. You know, another bonus of the shelter is that it's just like a nice little like nest in here, you know? It's like nice and warm and trapped all your heat in. You don't feel any wind. And I usually like to rest, you know, when I'm waiting out a storm, or if it's just really like nasty out, you know, it's raining or whatever the case is. And I just want to do something quick. You know, I'll throw my blanket over me and sometimes lean up against trees. Sometimes I sit just like this on my rock and just relax. Sometimes I nod off, you know. What better way to sit through, you know, a trying moment, a storm that normally would be a problem, where you're running around trying not to get wet, and you know, you're trying to stay warm and trying to build a fire and all this other stuff while it's raining or it's snowing and everything else, and you're trying to put a tarp up, and it's like this big deal. And instead of me expending calories during the worst possible moment, where I'm at the most stressful headspace I can be, trying to deal with all these extra factors, I'm actually resting. Maybe I'm napping. I'm warm, I'm dry, I'm relaxed. What's better than that, you know? And I get to listen to the snow or the rain hit the leaves around me, you know? It's good medicine, I'm telling you. So I like to do the opposite, you know? Instead of running around trying to build a home during a storm, I like to just sit it out, take a nap. What's wrong with that, right? Perfect. Because now, when I do decide to build a proper shelter, build a proper camp, I'm fully rested. I'm ready. I'm ready to crank out some calories and get some work done, you know? And now the rain or the snow has slowed down or subsided completely. So instead of me, you know, falling asleep then, now that I got my hammock up or whatever the case is, and it's, oh, okay, I can finally rest, you know. Oh, the snow stopped, you know. That's when I'm actually hitting my peak, when I should be. The animals do the same. They hunker down for a storm, and they rest. And when the storm stops, all of a sudden you see them come out. What's changed? You know, they're looking around. Did it make anything new? And they're scouting around. And there's a lot of wisdom in that, you know. There's a lot of wisdom in that. So usually how I use a shelter is I just sit Indian style. Okay, again, I'm on my rock. And I just create a pocket, it's like I was saying. That's all there is to it. So, appreciate your views. Comsy and Sport. See you guys in the next vid. Take care.